Okay, you say you announce your entrance. If you get inside and the person's on the couch and you have to kick it to wake them and they are startled, you had to kick the couch to wake them. So obviously your announcements weren't loud enough. This is yet another story of a no-knock warrant costing the life of an innocent citizen, a black citizen. That's what it is. Minneapolis, Minnesota, there was the murder of a young black man, 22-year-old Amir Locke. The police said that they were conducting a warrant searching for a killer. They happened upon this apartment. They announced themselves, they gained entry, and the young man pulled a gun on them. They were forced to retaliate to secure the premises and protect fellow officers. They had no choice but to shoot him. That was what the official story was. Though protesters and a number of the activists in the community did not agree with that assessment. They said they couldn't have went down that way. We don't believe it went down that way. Show us the body camera. Okay, so they released the body camera. Folks, I'm going to run you this. Now, this is the same version of the clip that ran on CBS, but I want to warn you that there's really no sound of what happens. Discretion is advised.
In under 10 seconds, a Minneapolis SWAT team quietly unlocks an apartment door, storms inside with a no-knock warrant, kicking a couch where a man lying under a blanket with a gun is quickly shot and killed. During the chaos, it's unclear if 22-year-old Amir Locke, who was not named on the search warrant and appears to have no criminal history, was ever aware it was police who were storming into the apartment before 7 a.m. Wednesday.
These events happen very rapidly, and as there's a gun emerging in your direction, you're forced to make a split-second decision about when it's a threat.
With at least 3 shots fired by police, who also released this screen grab showing a gun, Locke's family compares the no-knock warrant to the botched Kentucky police raid that left Breonna Taylor dead, and this from the same police department still under scrutiny for George Floyd's murder.
He was executed by the MPD, and I want the police officer that murdered my son to be prosecuted and fired.
Though authorities promise a transparent investigation, community activists who work with police and were at their press conference fear that will never come.
This is what I would call the anatomy of a cover-up. This is unacceptable.
Tonight, another death on video at the hands of police. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
Okay, first of all, they lied. They lied, and it was a cover-up, definitely. First of all, they did not announce themselves at the door. They snuck in. They were very quiet to sneak in this house, to sneak in this apartment without announcing themselves. That's what a no-knock warrant does. They want to stealthily enter the premises, and then they jar him. He has covers over his head. He doesn't even see who they are. As outlined in the narrator in the video, I thought that Mr. Locke even knew who killed him. He's not who they were looking for. And he had the gun legally, which is beside the point. But you know, the conservatives and the Blue Lives Matter crew are going to point to something. They're going to, whatever it is, whatever we are killed by cops, for some reason, anything in our past is used against us, regardless if the cops violated our constitutional rights in their pursuit of their objectives, or if they just murdered us in cold blood. Doesn't matter. Because if you find out that there was a speeding ticket, if you've ever had an open container of alcohol, ever committed any crime at all, it will be used against you in the court of public opinion by the Blue Lives Matter crew. Well, Mr. Locke has no record, and he was startled in the wee hours of the day, wee hours of the morning, obviously asleep, and did what any other card-carrying NRA member would do. He reached for his gun. He didn't point it at anyone. But what are you supposed to do? What's the purpose of having a gun if you're asleep and men barge into your house. Once again, folks. And did you hear Amelia Huffman at the press conference? The officers only had a split second to defend themselves. They had to make a split-second decision. The reason why they had to make a split-second decision is because they did not think, they did not pre-plan that maybe let's make sure that we preserve life before we go into this apartment. I also want to know if the people that were protesting are the only reason why this footage was released. Public outcry. Following public outcry, the Minneapolis Police Department released the body cam footage of the incident. Okay, so they have suspended they have put a moratorium on no-knock warrants. Under the city's policy effective November 30th, officers must announce their presence and purpose before entering and give reasonable time to respond with some exceptions, such as hostage situations. Okay, so the person that they're looking for, this is not the person. Obviously, he was not awake, so you did not do a good job of announcing your presence. Because if you announced your presence, he probably would have been awake, right? So how well of a job did they do announcing presence? Locke was not named in the warrant, according to a civil rights attorney who cited conversations with the 22-year-old's family. They used the key to open the door and announce police search warrant before they crossed the threshold. That's what she told reporters. To whom? To themselves? Because that young man did not hear that command, and that's obvious. The footage shows an officer kicking the couch where Locke lay wrapped tightly in a blanket, causing him to fall on the floor. Here goes the thing, guys. They want to say they had no time to react. They had to protect themselves. You kicked the couch with the young man on the couch. Why did you kick the couch? Now, there have been times my parents had to come and wake me up for school, and I didn't want to get up and go to school. I was a teenager. Been up all night playing video games or something. And the mom may have to kick the bed, or dad may have to kick the bed. They kicked the bed because I was not awake. So you're kicking the couch. Okay, you say you announce your entrance. If you get inside and the person's on the couch and you have to kick it to wake them and they are startled, you had to kick the couch to wake them. So obviously your announcements weren't loud enough because this person is asleep. A split second. The reason why you have a split second decision to make is because you made the wrong decisions up to the point of engaging with the citizen. The innocent before proven guilty citizen. Legally in the apartment. Minding their own business, committing no crime. The reason why you have a split second to make a decision is because you made all these wrong decisions preceding that moment. CPR was performed on Locke. They transported him to the hospital where he was later pronounced dead. He was only 22 years old. Okay. My condolences to the family of Mr. Locke. Okay. It never changes. It never seems to change, does it, Johnson? No change.